Okay, legends, I'm going to start off with the dollar index, and then my main focus for this video will be cable pairs, and then as the week develops and price unfolds, I'll look at other pairs. So just from a weekly chart perspective, I mean overall bigger picture, I am bearish the dollar, and this is my target here. The low is 91.90 short term. Okay, so the dollar hasn't been really clear. If we look at the weekly candle perspective, we're taking out this high here, last week's high, and then we've closed back below. Okay, so if I mark that out, so just from that, I'd say from a weekly candle, this previous week's low should be the next target, and that comes in line with our bearish bias to take out this low and then that low. So if I just break that down, the high is 93.89. 93.89. So, and then I'm going to mark out this low here. The low here is 92.92. So short term, these are going to be targets. These are just looking at the weekly candles alone. Okay, if you go to the monthly chart, I mean the monthly, we are in the above the open, so on the bullish side of the monthly. But I spoke about this level to watch out for. Ideally, I wanted that to hit. If that had hit that last week, that would have been ideal for me. But the way dollar index is looking, it's not very clear for me. I'm seeing more choppy environments, maybe more range bound environment. So if I go down to the daily, I mean, bit of a mess to be honest with you. We've had this trend down, then consolidation. So this would mean euro isn't the best pair for me personally to take. So I'll just be watching this. I'll be watching this for now, and let me just do this in a different. Yeah. So I'll be watching this for now, and I've got my eye on here. Obviously, this bullish order block here. So if I mark this out, it's holding above that right now. So, but it's holding along it too long. Normally, I'd like to see a big reaction off of it. So that lessens or decreases my bullish bias on this, the fact that it's holding this for too long. So I would wait personally, and I would wait for this low to get taken, because if this low gets taken, which would be last week's low, then I think we're going to resume down, and this would be the high. So what would this be then? This candle would then become the breaker, wouldn't it? This candle, because this candle here they're buying within, then they push the market up, took out these highs here, which is also a weekly level. So I'll wait and see if this level breaks, and the usual, wait for it, then a retest into it, wait for my bearish price action, and then I will be targeting the 91.90 level, which is here. That's what I'll be waiting for. Maybe as the week unfolds I might get something clearer, but as it stands, I mean, if I go to a lower time frame, it's not really clear to me, and I do not like these highs here. Look quite clean to me. I would have loved it if it had just pushed up into there, then broken down. That would have been ideal. But we could still, I think we could probably get a range bound environment. But I'll wait and see. My confirmation will be if you take out this low here, then I'll step in. Is that clear? So as it stands now, that would be my bias. Break of this low here, then retest. Okay, so it'll be inverse for the euro dollar. Okay, so I'll wait on this one. But I'll take pairs that are clear to me. So let's start with the cable. Now let's look at the cable monthly. If you look at the monthly, we took out previous month's high. Okay, the high here is 132.227. Was everyone clear with the dollar? I'm still waiting for more clarity on that, but is everyone clear with that? We'll take questions in the end. As long as everyone's clear as what I'm looking for, it's all good. So we're taking out that high. So, and look at this, we've moved all the way down. Nice bearish body so far, and we're still the last third of the month to go. So obvious target would be this low here, last month's low. Now the stops. This would be like, I consider this a high probability trade. So we'll see 128. 114. So high probability trades, I put more risk on them. I don't just do normal usual risk. Certain trades I do have certain risk. If it's really high probability, I'll push my risk up. If it's lower, it's still a valid setup, but it's a bit lower, then I'll reduce my risk. So we've got that. I was looking at this as well. Okay. So this is why I was pointing to the 128.10 level down here. It's the previous month low. So here, buying, broke through it, retest, okay, and we had a stop rate here, which is nice. We had a stop rate here. Look at this candle here. So if I go to 30-minute, probably clearer. What's this candle? What is this candle? Before I draw it out, what is this candle? Just to see if everybody is still paying attention. This bearish candle here that led to the move up, then broke through it. What is it? I know it's a Sunday, but half people are asleep here. So I consider this as a stop rate. Breakdown, took out these lows. I see this now as a break in market structure, retest, and to be honest with you, I mean, I'll see how Sunday opens, but I'd like to short it immediately. Usually I wait, but I usually I think it's gonna go down straight away from the market open to start rolling over, but we'll see how it unfolds. So my first target would be this low here. So on current market, that's 60 pips away. Then I spoke about, which level was it? This level here would be my next target. And then after that, if it's more weakness, then it's going to be this low here. Then I think this low there then. Okay? So that is my cable setup going into the week. So target 1, target 2, and then we'll start looking at each low here. On a daily, I think we could possibly take out this low, but we'll see. But I'm only going for short-term targets because I'm day trading now. Just short-term targets, and I'll see what price is saying. And also, cable has been in a consolidation, right? Consolidation then leads to expansion. So they've been holding cable past couple of days. So I think cable is going to be the one that's going to be the mover. Now I look for that to be supported by the cable crosses. Now I've spoken about pound Aussie, right? A bearish. Big swing trade. I'm looking on this, and it's starting to unfold. It's a bit tricky down here because I tried to short it down here and I got this move, but then pulled up. But if you look, it's coming to, look on the daily, it came into as resistance down here. See this date? No, I'm looking at the wrong area. So we've got this there into that. Then we've got price coming to that. Okay, support become resistance, they pushed up and we've broken out now. So now I think the trend play is back on, and I'll be targeting, was it this high here first. Then I personally believe, I don't think this is going to hold. I personally think we're going to take out these lows, and what supports that is this chart I spoke about before, the quarterly chart. So the quarterly chart telling us this previous 3-month candle took out these highs here, close below. So the target for me is going to be, you know, these quarterly lows. Ideally into this block here, but I've got a level at 150, about 158. I think we're going to drop to 158, so that's another 400 pips at least. I think we're going to go a lot lower, but 158 I think we're going to go to, and this is why I don't believe that these levels are going to hold. I think we're just going to smash through them. Is that clear? Pound Aussie. Take out this low here as well. So it's just each swing low. I'm looking for bearishness on this. Similar to cable, we're at a order block here, or here. We came into support, become resistance. We're into this here. Ideally, I'd like it to sell off straight away. So this lines up with cable idea of possible sell off immediately. So I'll see. I'll give it a couple of hours, possibly during Asia, and if cable's looking to sell off. I might take pound Aussie as well, it depends. So I think that's going to sell off, and that's just a bearish bias, and I got a big projection. I think these lows probably by the end of the week. Yeah, let me see the weekly ranges of this pair. So 460. Yeah, I think we'll probably take out this next week because I'm expecting that big bearish setup on cable. Pound yen, looking at the monthly, so it looks like it's turning. We're in the body of the candle now. We still got a third of the month to go, so I still think we've got more downside on the candle. Look at this low here, 138.666. So I think that's gonna be the next target. So I'm just marking out short-term targets only, and even as a short-term target, that's about nearly 200 pips. So that'd be more than enough for me. So that would be next target. Obviously, possibly lower, but I'm just marking out the shorter-term targets, and this would be the next short-term target for me. So same play again. Got a SR play there. So depending on what price action does, one play could be it runs up, takes out these highs here, and then pushes lower. But we'll see. We could get a play like this. If it shows weakness off of here, then I'll be looking to play it. Or my other strategy, because I'm expecting a trending week, I'll use the weekly open play. So I'll use the weekly open play where I've explained it loads of times. Weekly open, move above that, move above the weekly open. So that's the open. The wick, as soon as it gets back below it, I'll look for, say if there's a breaker here at the open or some resistance there, I'll look to short into that. That would be more conservative and safer play. So that's what I'll be looking for. So as soon as it gets back below the weekly open, I'll look for price action there and play it short. Is that clear? So we're getting a theme here now, all of cable sterling weakness across the board now. You know, from these pairs, it's looking like all sterling pairs are looking to go lower. Pound CAD, I mean, I'm not even going to go into this, but it's all the sterling pairs are showing the same thing. So it'll be exactly the same play. I think pound CAD probably want this level next. Yep. So same play. So I don't want price going above here now. So same play, weekly open play. Wait for the weekly open. Let price move above it. When it gets back below it, start shorting the fuck out of it. Pound New Zealand. That's another interesting play. So if we look at this pound New Zealand, this is there's many ways I try to produce a bias for myself, right? So I look at a specific cable crosses or specific, you know, like for example, if I'm looking for, I'll measure the strength across all the majors: cable, I mean GBP, Euro, Aussie, Kiwi, right? And so far we've been able to tell that the cable is going to be weaker than the Aussie, is going to be weaker than the dollar of what is showing us so far. The yen, the CAD. Now another way of confluencing it and using a different pattern, look at this, right? Sorry, weekly, yeah, monthly. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, right? Half a year of consolidation, right? This is half a year of consolidation. Mark that out and then drag it across. We broke out of it, everyone got in the bulls, right? So if this was a 5-minute chart and you say you chased it up and bought it, I don't know, here or something, your stop would logically be below this low here, wouldn't it? So they took out this side of the range. Now where does it, which side of the range does it look most likely to take out? It's the low, it's the bottom end of the range now, isn't it? Judging from a monthly chart. So automatically from that, my bias on the higher time frame turns bearish based on that. Okay, is that clear? So if I'm looking at this consolidation here, took out that side, now we're back below, back in the range, it's most likely to take out that. So that is enough for me to have another confluence of sterling weakness. Okay, So I don't necessarily have to take cable. For that matter of fact, if the dollar is going to drop and Aussie's ripping, Euro's ripping, Kiwi's ripping, well, and they hold the cable or cable is less stronger, then I'll just play through the crosses. And that's why I was pointing out last week on Twitter, I'd like to play sterling through the crosses. Is that clear? So pound New Zealand bearish bias. We've wicked up and we're starting to come to the open of the candle now, and I think we're going to get expansion to the downside now. So that's that. I'll quickly go over Aussie. No, I'll leave that for now. Dollar yen. So dollar yen, what I missed out was I realized this after the fact. We took out last week's high, and I thought dollar yen was going to go higher, but as soon as it took out this week's high, previous week's high, and started going below it, I should have been on bearish alert, but 10.914. I shouldn't have held for higher targets. But this is why when I was long, I think I took a long here, around here, and I got out at these highs. But see, notice how I took out previous week's highs here and then started breaking down. This was nice, and so far I wanted to hold this dollar yen. I want this to be capped with this here. If it goes above here, then I'll be, probably on the sidelines. But if it shows more weakness, and this is the cap, and again I'll be using the weekly open strategy. As soon as it gets above it and then back below it, I'll be looking for short. Next target I've talked about is this low here. I believe this low here. That's going to be the next target, and then obviously I think we're going to come to here. We've got the 107.50 here, but I think we're going to come here around the 107s. So that's my dollar yen play. Okay, so is everyone clear with that? I want it to be capped through here because these down candles led to the move up, took out these stops here. Now we're back below that. Yeah, after support here, back below it. So I want it to stay below here. Look for my bearish price action. Play this short. Is everyone clear with that? Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording here, and then as the week unfolds and price unfolds, I'll update.